You won't believe this, but something enormous is happening deep inside the U.S. banking system right now. Something so quiet, so hidden, and so carefully timed that millions of people have no idea what's unfolding behind the scenes. And if you're watching this video, then you are already steps ahead of the average person. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to share could change the way you look at currencies, the US dollar, and the global financial shift happening in 2025. Over the past several months, banking insiders, financial analysts, and even leaked internal memos have hinted that U.S. banks are undergoing large-scale system updates, but these updates aren't the ordinary routine maintenance we hear about on Sunday nights. These appear to be structural changes, the kind of upgrades that align with massive policy shifts, regulatory changes, and most importantly, something connected to the global currency realignment that has been discussed across international markets. When banks upgrade quietly, especially all at the same time, it usually means the financial infrastructure is being prepared for something bigger, something that requires a synchronized transition. And no, this isn't speculation pulled from thin air. It's based on patterns historically observed whenever a major shift is coming, whether it's tied to digital currency integration, liquidity restructuring, or cross-border settlement modernization. The IMF, BIS, and central banks worldwide have been openly discussing the shift towards central bank digital currencies and faster clearing mechanisms. So the U.S. banking system aligning itself with these frameworks isn't just possible, it's logical. And when we connect this to the ongoing discussion surrounding the Iraqi Dinar revaluation, the timing becomes even more interesting. Iraq has been pushing economic reforms faster than expected, updating banking security, integrating international settlement systems, and lifting barriers that previously restricted its currency's global movement. The United States, on the other hand, has been recalibrating dollar liquidity positions and strengthening compliance systems across major institutions. These actions don't happen randomly. They happen in preparation. And whenever multiple financial events line up like this, it suggests the possibility of a coordinated global shift in value, exchange mechanisms, or rate adjustments. Whether or not the Iraqi Dinar RV happens, why would major U.S. banks implement widespread global financial landscapes during a period when international currency discussions, they evolve through a series of those small signals, quiet updates, and Middle Eastern economic restructuring right now are intensifying across global platforms everywhere. When banks upgrade most people remain distracted, they aren't simply paying attention. You can see that the banking world is preparing for something. These kinds of updates are usually related to settlement long-term enhancements, cross-border connectivity, stay with me and compliance because the next part that allow transactions with new or adjusted currencies to occur smoothly. And here's where things get interesting. Several countries in 2024 and early 2025 began adjusting their foreign reserves, strengthening gold positions, and preparing for new regional trade agreements that minimize dependence on the US dollar. Iraq, for instance, has been increasing trade settlement in local currencies, improving anti-corruption systems, and aligning with international standards demanded by global financial institutions. These steps are exactly what precede a currency being allowed to operate on a wider global scale. Meanwhile, inside the U.S., banks have been upgrading fraud detection systems, liquidity monitoring tools, and international transfer integration protocols. And these upgrades align with the same global shift. When banks prepare for high-volume settlement changes, exchange rate fluctuations, or structural adjustments in the global value of certain currencies, they need their systems ready for instant compliance. Most people overlook this because they focus only on the flashy headlines, but the real clues always exist in the technical side of the banking world. Whether we talk about ISO 20022 integration, real-time transaction monitoring, or multi-currency support expansion, all of these upgrades indicate that banks are anticipating new financial activity. Now imagine a scenario where a currency like the Iraqi dinar undergoes a value correction or revaluation. Banks would need to instantly process new rates, manage liquidity flows, and handle higher transaction volumes from investors and institutions alike. This requires system preparation ahead of time, never after. And here's the thing. Banks never announce the reason behind these upgrades because doing so could spark market panic, speculative chaos, or massive early positioning. Instead, they operate quietly, ensuring the infrastructure is ready before the public even realizes a shift is happening. That's why those who observe patterns rather than headlines tend to understand these moves earlier. And if we zoom out, we can see that the global economy in 2025 is entering a new phase. Inflation recalibration, regional economic alliances, oil-based settlements, and digital currency trials are all converging at once. This convergence is not random. It's coordinated evolution driven by geopolitical and economic necessity. And inside this convergence, currencies like the Iraqi dinar have become part of a much bigger
really
conversation.
Means
is
whether
that the global financial
RV
system
happens
is immediately
quietly or
positioning
gradually,
itself for
the
a
foundation
transition
being
that the
built
average person
right now
may not even
strongly
notice
suggests
until
that
it's
the
already
world
complete.
is preparing
But
for
for those paying
rebalanced
attention,
currency
the
values,
clues are in
diversified
plain
reserves,
sight.
and
When
faster
the U.S.
cross-border
banking
settlement.
system aligns
Now,
itself with
let's go
rapid
deeper
settlement
into what
frameworks,
this truly
increased
means
liquidity
for
oversight,
everyday
and
people, for
updated
investors,
compliance systems,
and for
while
anyone
Middle
watching
Eastern
global
economies
currency
strengthen
news
currency
in
policy,
2025.
crack down on corruption, and open new investment pathways, it suggests that currencies previously undervalued or restricted may soon reappear in global markets with new potential. The Iraqi dinar's long journey from post-war instability to structural reforms and improved monetary control has placed it back into international discussions. Financial experts who track global currency behavior note that when a country integrates modern financial technology, aligns with international banking standards, and stabilizes its political environment, its currency naturally gains strength. And that's exactly what Iraq has been attempting. Meanwhile, U.S. banks preparing in advance ensures that if there is any shift, whether revaluation, a new exchange mechanism, or simply increased global trading volume, systems will handle the transition smoothly. This preparation also protects against market volatility, unusual trading patterns, or cyber threats during significant currency events. These changes don't guarantee an overnight RV, but they do point toward increased international access and the possibility of future value adjustments. And while the general public waits for official announcements, those who study economic patterns understand that large financial moves are almost always prepared silently. That's why staying informed matters more now than ever. The future of global currencies is being shaped by digital integration, faster clearing systems, and international economic restructuring. The U.S. banking upgrades are part of a much larger puzzle, one that connects developing markets, rising currencies, and shifting economic alliances. And if the Iraqi dinar does reach a future value correction, the infrastructure will already be in place to support it. Watching these signs, understanding these patterns, and preparing mentally and financially gives individuals an advantage that millions of people won't have until the change is already here. So make sure you stay connected, stay alert, and stay engaged because the world of currency is moving faster than ever, and every update brings us one step closer to major global financial changes. And before we continue to track this unfolding story in future videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss critical updates that could shape your financial future. Your support keeps this channel growing and ensures that this important information reaches more people around the world.